ماجد، شكرا لتواجد حضرتك مع تلفزيون مراسي الملاحي. اليوم هو الإطلاق الرسمي لمركز الإمارات للتحكيم البحري، فهل ممكن حضرتك تدينا أكتر نبذة عن الدور الأساسي اللي بيقوم به المركز؟
طبعا المركز في الواقع أنشئ لاستجابة لتطور القطاع الملاحي في دولة الإمارات، وأعتقد أنه مثل ما نشوف الآن كيف التطور وصل في دولة الإمارات وفي منطقة الخليج والشرق الأوسط بشكل عام. المركز حقيقة جاء نتيجة لتكملة لإضافة لهذا القطاع، وبالتالي الحاجة أصبحت الآن ماسة لوجود هكذا مركز لتسوية النزاعات البحرية، بل بالإضافة إلى تسوية النزاعات البحرية هناك سوف يضيف نوع من التواصل الثقافي ما بين الشرق والغرب، وبالتالي سوف يخلق بيئة ثقافية. بيكون هناك تشجيع المحكمين خبراء في هذا المجال.
وإيه هي الخطة الاستراتيجية للمركز في المرحلة المقبلة؟
طبعا هناك وضعت خطة حقيقة استراتيجية للمركز تتمثل في جمع كل من هم في المهنة البحرية من خبراء ومن محكمين ومن وسطاء، وأيضا جمع كل الشركات في دولة الإمارات، وبالتالي تشجيع هذه الشركات للانضمام لعضوية المركز، وبالتالي نخلق هذا من التبادل عن طريق المؤتمرات والورش العمل، التواصل مع المركز، لأن المركز في النهاية هو موجود من قبل القطاع البحري، وبالتالي نتوقع استجابة كبيرة. طبعا التواصل مثل ما تعرفين هو بياخذ عن طريق المحاضرات والندوات والإيفنتات، سواء بإعداد مباشر من مركز الإمارات للتحكيم البحري أو بالاشتراك مع المراكز في الدولة أو في العالم.
وإيه هي أهم المؤسسات الحكومية اللي بتدعم مركز الإمارات للتحكيم البحري؟
وطبعا المركز قام بدعم حقيقة من القطاع البحري، يتمثل في سلطة مدينة دبي الملاحية ورجال الأعمال والموانئ اللي يمثلون الآن هم حقيقة اللي هم أعضاء مجلس الإمارة.
وما هي أهم توقعاتك لأداء المركز في المرحلة المقبلة؟
نحن طبعا كان بداية، لكن أعتقد أنه التوقع مبشر بالخير، لأنه أهم شيء أنه المنطقة لا يوجد فيها مركز، وبالتالي هو بيكون قريب للصناعة، فبالتالي باعتبار أنه هو قريب للصناعة فنتوقع استجابة وتعامل مع المركز.
القطاع البحري دايما بيواجه العديد من التحديات والمنازعات والقضايا، عشان كده طبعا عملتوا مركز إمارات التحكيم البحري. هل في أي تحديات هتقابل المركز في المرحلة المقبلة؟
المركز لا تقابل طبعا تحديات، باعتبار أنه تأسس على قاعدة جيدة من ناحية النظم، من ناحية اللي يضم الخبراء الموجودين فيه من مجلس أمناء أو قوائم، ودعم مثل ما شفتي من القطاع ومن الحكومة، وبالتالي أنا أعتقد أنه عوامل النجاح موجودة. طبعا التحدي موجود في أي وقت، ولكن أنا أعتقد أن عوامل النجاح موجودة.
أخيرا، إيه هي الرسالة اللي حضرتك تحب توجهها لرواد القطاع الملاحي في الدولة؟
التواصل مع المركز، الانضمام إلى عضوية المركز، هذه رسالتنا نحن مع المركز لكي نرى ما هي تطلعاتهم وما كيف المركز يمكن يقدم أفضل خدمة.
So Vanya, to what extent do you think EMAC is going to be as an alternative solution for the legal dispute in the UAE?
Hi, thanks Ifat for asking me that. I think EMAC is going to offer a very good alternative for dispute resolution for maritime disputes in the UAE. It should be able to offer a set of rules that are bespoke for the maritime industry. It should offer arbitrators who are familiar with the types of disputes that come across in the maritime industry. And also it should have a group of lawyers who become very familiar with those rules, so can apply them well and therefore offer a proper and real solution to those parties who want to find a resolution to their disputes that they have in the maritime industry. So overall, I think it is a great initiative.
Since the maritime industry in the UAE is facing a major challenges currently, and actually I can say like 70% of these is like related to the legal sector and the legal disputes, Do you think that the EMAC is, do you expect that the EMAC will be effective enough to solve all this legal disputes?
I think it has the potential to be effective. I think the answer to that is going to depend primarily on whether the arbitrators that come in to undertake the arbitrations are going to be properly qualified, are going to follow the rules properly. It's also going to depend on whether EMAC itself as a centre is going to police the application of the rules in the proper way. One of the reasons that centres like the LMAA or the Hamburg Centre or the Singapore SMCA operate really well is because you both have lawyers who apply the rules, or actually three things: lawyers that apply the rules properly, a centre that ensures the rules are applied properly, and a set of arbitrators that are very familiar with maritime law and the law and the type of disputes that they're resolving. So all in all, it comes together and offers a service of dispute resolution that is quicker and that is cheaper. And I think that is really what the maritime industry in the UAE needs at the moment.
And since the EMAC is just recently launched as the first of its kind in the Middle East to work in such fields, what do you think what should be done in order to increase the awareness about the center?
Well, maritime disputes are very often paid for by P&I clubs, by FD&D insurers, and therefore I think there has to be a real initiative to push out EMAC as the dispute resolution jurisdiction, or the jurisdiction of choice in the shipping contracts. To do that, we need to go out to people and owners and charterers and brokers beyond the UAE. We need to go out to I'm biased obviously, but I think the UK and the clubs that are based in the UK, as well as the clubs that are based in the Far East, to owners based in the whole region. I think EMAC is going to be really attractive to people who are contracting with players in the region, but also for players in the region who are contracting out. So we need to make sure that all those people who have effectively the choice to put a jurisdiction clause in a contract that chooses EMAC, they will know that EMAC exists. That's going to happen, I think, effectively through international law firms like INS and others who have offices everywhere, who have clients everywhere, who can then start to sell this. So I'm hoping that EMAC are going to do a real international push, because that's the only way they're going to make a difference.
Thank you. So, as an expert in the maritime industry, to what extent do you think that Emirates Maritime Arbitration Centre will be working as an alternative to solve the maritime disputes?
Okay, let me start with first mentioning that the maritime industry in the region has been demanding for a dispute resolution centre, a dedicated maritime dispute resolution centre in the region, and it's very nice to see that this industry desire has now come true with the setting up of Emirates Maritime Arbitration Centre. Maritime disputes are very specialized in nature because of the kind of disputes that come up, and certainly courts have jurisdiction, or the courts that have jurisdiction over this can settle disputes, but it takes a long time. So arbitration is the preferred mode of dispute resolution, and so far people have all been heading towards London, to the LMAA, to Singapore for dispute resolution. So to have a dispute resolution centre here dedicated to the maritime industry is a very big help. And I think it will be a great success, because people are very keen to not to travel, to try and get their disputes resolved locally.
And from your point of view, what do you think it should be done in order to increase the awareness about the main role of the EMAC?
Well, I think EMAC already has a comprehensive program to engage industry stakeholders, and awareness will definitely come up. This is only the start. I think people will be very keen to, first of all, try and understand what the centre has to offer, and once they begin to understand this, we will see, people approaching EMAC for dispute resolution.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine, for being with us today in Marasi News TV. So basically, to what extent do you think that the Emirates Maritime Arbitration Centre is working as an effective solution for legal disputes in the maritime sector?
Thanks for having me, Afat, and thanks for EMAC for organizing the event this evening, the launch. I think you need to see the Emirates Maritime Arbitration Centre in the context of a discussion we're having ongoing for more than 10 years now, looking at how can we improve Dubai and the UAE as a maritime hub. And one of the points we realized we don't have it is a maritime center here. We have arbitration centers, but no maritime arbitration center. What that means for us at the moment, any maritime arbitration dispute we are having, we have to bring it to the west, to London, or to the east, to Singapore. And that's involved with a lot of costs, with a lot of complications. On that point, I think local ship owners will be quite pleased once this is up and running.
Mm-hmm. And actually, since the maritime sector is now currently facing a lot of challenges, so there are going to be a lot of maritime disputes already waiting for the EMAC to solve them. So what do you think, as an expert working in the maritime sector, might be the challenges that will be faced by the EMAC?
I think by EMAC now, first as always, when you're a new center, everybody is waiting for a track record, and if nobody wants to be the first, that's not easy. But you have to look at the industry likes arbitration because it's not public. It's considered to be faster and to be a bit cheaper. Courts have become incredibly expensive, quite time consuming, and often judgment, even more here in the region where we don't have expert maritime judges. The challenge will be obviously the track record, and people like us, lawyers mainly, having the trust in EMAC and asking our clients to change the jurisdiction clause, putting as an not the arbitration, putting as law and jurisdiction, putting the Emirates Arbitration Centre in with the system.
And what are you expecting from EMAC for the upcoming period?
I would expect from EMAC in order to establish themselves amongst the leading arbitration centres, I expect them to be like Dubai, better than anybody else. So they have to be efficient, they have to be fast. They need to have arbitration awards where we all say we can live with that, we accept that. So they have to be very professional, and of course they have to be on the cost front. It has not to be that expensive. So they have quite some challenge.
And what should be done in order to enhance the awareness about the main role of the EMAC in the UAE?
I think what is right now, what is important, what EMAC is doing, EMAC needs to start speaking up at our conferences, at certain events, at certain exhibitions. What they're doing here at the moment, the industry has a lot of questions. How will it work? Who are the arbitrators? Which system are you applying? Who will be the experts? Where will be the hearings? So everything will start slowly. The problem is, of course, what the center needs is publicity. But arbitration awards, the most important thing on an award is it's not public. So again, the parties would literally need to agree, and we would all want to see what's the outcome, how it worked. But right now, EMAC has to focus, they have to learn from the best of the best, from other arbitration centers, I think. They have to have a very clear objective to be more efficient, to be faster. They need to really focus on that. And they have to find companies who trust them and puts the clause in.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jasmine, for the interview. Today is the official inauguration of the Emirates Maritime Arbitration Centre.
Yep.
To what extent do you think that the centre will work as an alternative solution to fix the legal disputes in the maritime sector?
It's a very essential. I mean, Dubai's strategy that to become one of the top 5 maritime hub in the world, and you cannot be one of the top 5 without having, not without having even, to be honest, is that it's essential to have an arbitration center to serve the region on any dispute may arise in the future.
Mm-hmm. And since there is a lot of disputes in the legal sector currently in the maritime sector, so what do you expect that the EMAC might face some challenges in the sector once it's integrated? So what do you think about the main challenges that might face the EMAC?
I think that the main challenge, I would say, that to make the awareness about the existing of EMAC and that we have a proper setup and that we have the same international tip-top arbitrators. Basically, this is basically the biggest challenge, which is normal for any arbitration center in the first few years, basically.
And since you have been referring to the awareness about the EMAC, what should be done in order to enhance the awareness about the existence of the center?
We have a marketing strategy of making awareness, local and region, and international as well. So we have a plan to attend many events, and we have all marketing tools basically to market EMAC.
And what are the main message that you want to deliver to your audience in the UAE?
The main message that happy to deliver that now we have an Emirates Maritime Arbitration, and that's extremely important for the whole entire region actually.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
To what extent do you think that Emirates Maritime Arbitration Centre will be working as alternative solution to solve all the legal disputes in the maritime sector?
Well, as you know yourself, I mean, the EMAC was inaugurated today. This is one of the major pillars of any maritime cluster anywhere in the world. Currently, all the maritime contracts, they have arbitration clauses, and these arbitration clauses for dispute resolution, they are governed by the English law, Singaporean law, and Hong Kong's law. By establishing EMAC here, it would actually bring all these dispute resolutions and any dispute between the contracting parties in UAE.
And since EMAC is considered as the first of its kind in the Middle East to be as alternative solution to solve legal disputes in the maritime sector, what do you think as an expert in the market should be done in order to enhance the awareness of the rule of the center?
Yeah, well, firstly, on behalf of the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science and Technology, we congratulate EMAC today for launching off, and as in our capacity, we would obviously, being UAE, we would like to support any organization as a fresh startup here. And towards that end, of course, I guess since it's new, it would take some time for EMAC, just like any other organization, to build up the confidence within the stakeholders in the industry. I think it would definitely, from what I saw today and spoke to a few of the people, it's sounding very impressive. The one clear way that other companies have benefited when they make their inroads into typically the UAE is they sort of market themselves. I think that is essential for any organization, including EMAC. And we at the IMRS provide one such a solution. We are a completely non-profit organization, and therefore our purpose is to spread awareness. And EMAC being obviously another more or less a knowledge-based organization, we'd be more than happy to partner with EMAC in order to promote them to the maritime industry. That's where our strength lies, the maritime industry. And we'd be more than happy if EMAC and the IMRS could partner.
Thank you so much.